Finally a good episode.
Yeah, this one was definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
Lots of kind of callbacks to kind of the Clone Wars feel of storytelling and some good action. And
Do you know what I found particularly interesting about this episode of The Bad Batch?
what?
The Bad Batch isn't in it.
Yeah. Well, technically,
No, you can't.
a former member of the Bad
former
Batch
member. Sure. Well, yeah, former member. Well, I can't waltz into McDonald's and start making my own food. I don't work there anymore.
Yeah. I think being a member of the Bad Batch is a little different than being a member of or employee of McDonald's.
Yeah, you're a lifer.
Yeah. Once a Bad Batcher, always a Bad Batcher.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast.
I almost cut you off there. The B team.
Well, that would have been the very first time that's ever happened, that one of us has cut the other one off. Not us, no.
No, not us.
That's Carl.
This is Brady. I tried to cut you off.
Yeah. And, yeah. So, listen, I compared to the last two episodes, I adore this one.
Yeah, this one should have been the lead.
Absolutely. Yeah. This should have been the lead.
Yeah,
so,
this one would have been really great as an opener. Like, setting the stage for, as we talked about last episode, that pretty much that only question the Bad Batch is here to answer: what happened to the clones?
What happened to the clones?
This does a great job of continuing that.
What's going on with the Empire?
Yeah.
Is there any, like, what the remnants of the Separatists? Like, what's, are there any battle droids still turned on and activated? The answer is yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I got a real kick out of seeing the battle droids. I thought that was a lot of fun, and was like, oh, cool. Like, man, it's like a touch of home there.
Yeah.
The clankers.
Yeah, like I said, it feels very reminiscent to a Clone Wars style episode.
Yeah.
We get to see a cameo of sorts in Cody.
Yeah. So okay. So let's talk about Cody here. Cody, who has not removed his chip. And we know that he's impacted. We didn't even need to, you don't need to watch the Clone Wars. We see the effects of Order 66 on Cody, because in Revenge of the Sith, he's the one that turns on Obi-Wan. Guns Obi-Wan down.
He is Obi-Wan's clone general.
Yeah.
He's Obi-Wan's direct report.
Yeah. So he's the one that turns on Obi-Wan and shoots him off the cliff. Now, does a shit job of killing him.
Yeah. He wasn't the one aiming.
But he's
turret,
like,
it's not his fault.
He points and he says, blast him out of the sky, or whatever, whatever he says.
Yeah.
So Order 66, Cody was not an exception. But as this episode sort of alludes to, more and more clones seem to be, like, the effects of Order 66 are kind of wearing off on them. They're all sort of starting to kind of think for themselves a little bit here, and are starting to question what's going on, and are starting to question this new empire, and their obedience is a little janky for the Empire's liking. And not only do we see Cody really, like, deep in thought, right? Like, it's one of those scenes, and it feels so weird to say about a cartoon, but, like, so much is said without saying it, just in his facial expression.
Yeah.
When the Separatist gets gunned down, right? Cody's laid down his rifle. He's
made a promise.
talking to this person, treating them like a human, and another clone guns them down in cold blood, and you can almost see Cody's heartbreak in that moment. And then Cody goes AWOL. Now, in the last episode, you talked about what you thought overarching plots and stories for the season are going to be. I don't necessarily disagree with any of them that you said. I would like to submit Cody as a front runner for where the story is going in season 2. Like,
you think he's got a big role to play?
Oh, I hope he does. I hope he does. I hope that Cody is going to stir the pot and cause all kinds of shit for the Empire. And I hope that
would be cool.
He's instrumental. I hope, and I don't know how they're going to do it, but I hope that ultimately, when the question is asked, why are the stormtroopers not clones? I hope a big part of that answer is Commander Cody. I hope because of whatever he does, starts, rallying them all up. And
I didn't think about that really. I mean, I know that Dave Filoni has I read an article where Dave Filoni, and this is an article more pertaining to the Rebels TV show than this, but in that show, 3 clones turn up. I won't spoil what clones, but 3 clones turn up, and Filoni said he originally wanted there to be 4 or 5 clones, and apparently Cody was one of those clones. So Filoni's got a soft spot for Cody as a character, and that's interesting. I didn't think that through as, but you sit too thoroughly. But you saying that kind of like with that kind of thought, that kind of knowledge of what Filoni has said in the past. That's seeing. I thought with the ending of this, it's like, oh, Cody's gone. Okay, that's the end of the story.
Oh no, I think it's the beginning of the story.
Yeah, that'd be cool if he had more to play and he kind of somehow connects up with the Bad Batch, or has Crosshair has another run-in with him at some point, or maybe Crosshair becomes part of a unit that has to hunt down rogue clones.
Yeah, because Cody was written into the first draft, sort of the first treatment of the Obi-Wan series.
Yes.
Right. So there was he doesn't end up making an appearance. But in the first sort of treatment for the Obi-Wan series, Obi-Wan and Cody like reconnect, and they're like secret buddies. And when Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine to go chasing after Leia,
he leaves Cody in charge.
He was going to leave Cody in charge of Luke.
I read,
to kind of watch over Luke. So there's definitely Star Wars is not done with Cody, I don't think, and I hope not.
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting clone because he's a little bit more. I've even without the chip, I feel like he would have kind of done what Crosshairs did and just follow orders.
Right.
But he's kind of beating Crosshair to what I assume is going to be Crosshair's eventual journey. He's beating him to the punch in abandoning the Empire.
Well, even so it's like, I mean, Crosshair seems super uncontent. Like even Crosshair in this is a little like not.
Well, he's all alone. No, other clones don't respect the Bad Batch because the Bad Batch is a bunch of misfits and they're not like normal clones. And before he had his brothers in the Bad Batch, and now he is all alone. And like the human recruits don't like him.
Yeah,
The other clones don't like him.
I
Like,
don't
they
think
get
he's.
up when he sits down at the table.
I don't think he's necessarily having a change of heart. Like, I don't think he's thinking that, like, oh, what the Empire is doing is bad. But I do think he's, like, realizing that the Empire is maybe it's a dead-end job. There's no ladder to climb for him. And he's always going to be someone's subordinate. And he's never going to be given the command that he wants. And so I wonder if he will, for a while, continue to be a villain, but will do so sort of as a free agent for a while, because he's just no longer... Like, I wonder if he'll still be an obstacle, he'll still be a pain in our ass, but if he'll kind of break free, like if the Empire will be after him as well, because he himself will go AWOL on account of, being fed up with.
I think he's
being
his
pushed around.
Got to go one of two ways. He's either gonna kind of follow in the footsteps of Cody, or he's gonna die on that hill. You know what I mean? Like, he's made his decision. He obviously wants a command, because he kind of alludes to it a little bit here before he gets assigned to Cody. But he's never, like you said, he's probably never going to get it, especially that clones are getting phased out. Yeah, I think he's either going to redeem himself by following the footsteps of Cody and abandoning the Empire, or he's just going to put his head down and follow orders, because that's what good soldiers do, as he says. And he's gonna die on that hill, and it's gonna be, as I can picture it in my mind. It will be Hunter doing the deed of ending him, and this kind of like sad, somber moment, like, if you don't kill me, I'm just gonna keep gunning for you, and kind of giving him absolutely no choice, and Hunter will have to end his life.
That would be cool. Because yes, it's a cartoon, but like, there were a lot of times where in Clone Wars I was like, geez, this is a kid's show. Like, there were a lot of times
where some somber and even violent, like
the villains just cut people down. Like,
like, there's one of the worst, in terms of like what you're talking about, story arcs in Clone Wars, was the war arc on that. It was kind of like a swampy, gassy planet full of fog, with the four-armed Jedi with the big, massive lightsabers. And he absolutely, he pits two clone forces against each other, because he hates clones.
Yeah. He's
a Jedi that hates clones. He's kind of very much gone down the dark side.
Yeah.
And he ends up just like murdering so many clones.
He just cuts through them
by his own hand and by just like manipulation.
Yeah.
And that was a really dark storyline.
Oh, it was so dark. Yeah. So I all that is to say, I don't think that what we're hypothesizing about what could happen to Crosshair, I don't think that's off the table. I think they could make Hunter have to kill him. And it wouldn't be like, because it falls in this weird gray area where it's like pretty much kid friendly and not really geared towards adults, but like just kind of lives in its own space.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun.
Clone Wars and Bad Batch by association. Don't treat their audience like they're
dummies.
Dummies, like really toddler children, right?
Right.
Like, it's kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's lots of shows that are goofy and fun, and you could show your 3, 4, 5-year-old and they would think it's goofy and fun.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of episodes that are dark and deal with complicated and and dirty, messy social and economic and war issues. And yeah, it's and that's kind of like that, not treating your audience like they're stupid.
Well, and right? I mean, like Star Wars.
This happens in the real world. We're gonna if we're gonna create these characters and make them seem real, then they have to have real situations that happen to them.
And Star Wars has always kind of been like that, right? Like people often there's this sort of generalization. People talk about the prequels as the Star Wars movies that were made for kids, right? That they're like they're much more,
especially the prequels,
right? Especially the prequels. I'm sorry, but there's like my kids are going to have to be of a certain age before they can watch the last 40 minutes of Revenge of the Sith.
Have you seen Revenge of the Sith?
Holy. Flesh peeling off of his face.
From bright and cheery to black.
Yeah, it's rough. So talking about the phasing out of the clones, I have a bad feeling about this. Here's the thing. One of the things that I said, a question that I really want answered, something that I want to see an explanation for, is why the clone trooper outfits don't look like the stormtrooper outfits. What is the change? What is the causality there? And I don't think we're really going to get it. And the reason I say that is because we're now finding many of the troopers in these like weird in-between stage where the body armor.
There was a bit of that in the first season, too, if I'm not mistaken.
The body armor's changed a little bit, kind of not really. The
helmets have changed drastically.
The helmets have changed drastically, but they're still not quite there. Like the eyes are still the visor is still clone trooper.
Yeah, but they've gone more bug eye than slits.
Yeah, and the base of it has got those, I don't know what they, like if they're like filters or what they are, but it's got like those cylindrical cheekbones, essentially, jawline. Sort of less of a sleek,
weird in between.
Less of a sleek, like, so here's the thing, because if you think about it, the clone trooper helmets are very Mandalorian helmet-esque.
Yeah, but even just quick throw a caveat in here. Even the trooper helmets change. Like from Star Wars Episode 1 to Episode 2, the helmets do change. Like there was kind of an advancement in technology or whatever, if you want to call it that.
Well, there are no clones in Episode 1, but
pardon?
There are no clones in Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh, sorry. From 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Yeah, there's a little evolution.
Yeah. So, but yeah, anyway, and we see some of that in Clone Wars too.
Yeah, I think they're just going to kind of keep slowly changing them until one day, without explanation, we just have stormtroopers. And that will piss me off because feels like sweeping it. That feels like, okay, we have this continuity thing where we need to get from A to B, and let's kind of do it discreetly and sweep it under the rug and not talk about it, where I think that's a shame, because I think like there's an opportunity there to lay out a really cool piece of canon, to be like, this is why this was the change, that these were actually the helmets of a specific clone force, like a specific clone troop, and for whatever reason they became the predominant whatever, or like, you know, whatever it is, that because the humans that we were recruiting were not genetically engineered like the clones were, and so they needed slightly more advanced helmets. They needed it's different helmets for whatever, right? Like
Right.
they'd come up with something better than that, but it just seems like I'm not going to get that explanation. It's just going to be like, they changed. We changed.
Yeah. Well, I think Bad Batch is going to look at more like a personal, individual storyline than those kind of big questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to kind of see it happen in the background. This is actually a great episode that kind of shows it without saying it, like without explaining it. They show it because episode 2 in the Clone Wars, when we see the clones, they're all wearing the exact same armor.
Yes.
And it's all shiny white.
Yeah, there's really no ranks at that point, I don't think. Like there are
ranks. There are ranks.
Are they? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
The real difference, I think, is in like the only colorations we see, I think, and I could be mistaken here, is I think the pilots have different style helmets and there might be some yellow on them.
Right.
In episode 2.
They've almost got more like
3,
TIE Fighter-esque helmets, kind of. But not like they don't look like TIE Fighter helmets, but they've got that.
They're a little bulkier.
Pilot-esque, yeah.
Anyway, episode 3, and then throughout the Clone Wars, we start to see individuality in armor and throughout the ranks. And a lot of clone forces will start coloring their armors in different ways, usually in a similar fashion. So like everybody in this force has like blue on their armor because our Jedi general is this blue Twi'lek lady. So we've got blue on our armor to kind of represent this is who our leader is.
Oh, the Ahsoka helmets were so
and
cool.
Cody's a great example of this in episode 3. He's got this yellow armor and he's got like these things coming off his shoulders and no other clone looks like him.
No.
So he's like modified his armor.
Yeah.
We come to this episode. He's still got his modified armor, but now it's just white and gray like everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the Empire, the clones started out as this kind of faceless, no identity army. They start interacting with the real world. They start growing their own identities, and they start showing those unique identities in their armor and their personalities and stuff through it. And then the Empire steps in and it's like, no, uniformity. No, you have to be like everybody else because you're a soldier.
Which I think it's kind of interesting that the Empire veered away from clones. And I think, I mean, obviously, fundamentally, like at the end of the day, at the absolute end of the day, the answer to the question, why did they stop using clones, is because in the mid-70s, when George Lucas made Star Wars, he had no idea that clone troopers were like, that's why.
Yeah.
Because
that's probably the real world reason.
It's the absolute reason why that change has to happen. But the canon reason
is simply Tarkin doesn't like clones.
Yeah, and it's just so interesting
Tarkin's
because
in charge of the military.
The real world, like the parallels have been drawn in the real world between the Empire and the Third Reich, right? Like the Nazi regimen thing. And so it just surprises me to an extent that canonically the Empire veered away from essentially eugenics, right? The ability to we don't want individuality in our troops. We want everyone to look the same. We don't want critical thinkers, right? Like I'm surprised they didn't, let the clones that they had that were, they're all aging rapidly. Like their clocks are all ticking. These aren't, they're not going to live big, long lives. Why they didn't let those ones kind of die out and then order new clones that were like engineered further or had different chips put in that were like, basically more accurate, smarter versions of droids, that they were not essentially not able to question orders, that they were
like human droids.
Human droids, yeah. So
they can think for themselves in the moment, but when they're told to do something, they do exactly that.
Yeah. So essentially, ultimately, it's an interesting question canonically, but like the at the end of the day, the answer is wow, because when we cast Star Wars Episode 4, we just had a bunch of people play stormtroopers, which I feel like they still could have gotten away with, because all of their voices are very similar, and you never, ever, ever do you see a stormtrooper with its helmet off.
And technically, in canon, current canon, and in Legends, the very first stormtroopers you see in A New Hope, technically those are clones. The only clone force to survive the Empire was the 501st Legion, which was Anakin Skywalker's and then Darth Vader's personal his army.
So when they board Organa's ship,
the very same clones that stormed the Jedi Temple are the same clones that were on Leia's ship.
Right. Some 20 years later.
Yeah.
So they're all old and janky at that point, because
that's why they're missing their shots.
No, they're missing.
Or you can go with that fan theory that they were purposely missing.
They have to have been. Because only Imperial troopers are that precise. It's canon, man. They're good shots. Stormtroopers are excellent shots, and so something's up. Something's got to be up.
In that opening foray, they are extremely good shots. They tear apart those rebels on that ship in that opening scene pretty easily.
Yeah, so something happens, man. Something happens. That's a question I want answered.
Order or whatever. Anyway.
That's a question in a world where they felt the need to give us midichlorians. It's about damn time that we get answers to some of the questions we actually have.
Yeah.
Which is
a canon answer that they purposely were missing their shots on the Death Star when they're trying to kill Han.
Exactly. It's because Darth Jar Jar was. Anyways, doesn't matter. So, okay, ultimate question for you though: was this episode a winner or fail for you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the whole battle sequence that happens in the middle. The kind of outnumbered clones fighting droids. It's like you get those reminiscent vibes, the member berries without them being direct callback member berries, which are always kind of annoying sometimes. So that was awesome. Commander Cody coming back and seeing his kind of character progression after following orders like a good soldier and regretting it, and just kind of that whole what I can only assume is the way they kind of talk in front of it and look at it is that memorial for dead clones.
Right.
Yeah, the conversation that he has with Crosshairs there. Yeah. And yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. Was it a win or a lose for you?
It was a total win. Yeah. This episode should have been episode 1 of this season.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. If you haven't watched this show yet, and you're going to watch episode 3, then go back, watch episode 1 and 2, and then watch the rest.
Yeah.
This is the Movie Men Bad Batch season 2 chainsaw order. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's just so good. It's just such a good episode, and I feel like it sets up so much, and it just makes things much more interesting moving forward.
Like the first 2 episodes would have been way more interesting as second and third if this was first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because what we see that general what's his face again at the end of this one telling Crosshairs that Cody has abandoned his post. And then we see him at the end of the second episode killing the clone. Like that killing the clone would have been way more impactful had this episode been first, I think.
Yeah. 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 And again, quite interesting that the best episode so far of season 2 of The Bad Batch doesn't have the Bad Batch in it. It's
it's got a member.
It's got a former member. Yeah.
I still think it counts.
Former member. Thank you so much for listening. Check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, and our merch store. All listed down below. We have merch.
It's very cool merch.
Some of it, yeah. Some of it's, yeah. But some of it, oh boy. So you're going to want to check that out. Tune in next week. We're going to talk about some more news. Very likely we'll probably double up on Bad Batch episodes again in our attempt to get caught up to where we need to be. But yeah, lots of good stuff coming, and keep your eyes peeled to find out whether or not Carl's going to get his wish, and Pete and I review The Last Action Hero.
I think it's going to happen either
I've
way.
never seen it, by the way. Don't know if you know that.
I will let the cat out of the bag, because I already kind of did, but it is definitely my favorite Arnold action flick.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. That doesn't necessarily mean anything to me, because your taste in those types of movies aren't the same as my taste. And so it could, like, that's not necessarily like, ooh, okay, well, I'm going to love it then. But it does intrigue me.
Yeah. Pete's got my copy right now. A few months ago, I gave him a number of, oops, excuse me, sorry. My phone started ringing. I had to stop it. I gave him a number of my Arnold movies for him to peruse. He asked for one, and I gave him like 10.
Uh-huh. You know he's not going to watch any of them, right?
Yeah, well, eventually.
Yeah. You hold on to that dream. You let me know how it works.